Chapter 64, The Ocean of Te Fiti. So this is a Moana chapter. That's great. Lily was, jeez. I mean, I know Moana isn't a super old movie. Well, it's not a recent movie, but it's also not super old. I don't know. It just feels weird. Um, because a lot of this has been cartoons. A decent amount of old ones. Woody Woodpecker, Ed, Edd and Eddie, the likes. The old Teen Titans. And then something slightly more modern and slightly more, I don't know, more something that I know more about, I guess. Whatever. I'm getting off track already. Lily was in the simulator. Me, Vuri, Starfire, Lainey, and Krista, and Lisa were in the control room. The simulator activated, and Lily found herself in the middle of the ocean. She walked on water and saw a blue light on a boat. The boat was a Polynesian sailing canoe. I'm in the movie Moana, one of my favorites. I love this movie. You that's what set it off for you? A single boat, a single Polynesian boat in the middle of the water of the ocean. I mean, granted, there's a blue light, but and furthermore, I'd like to point this out. I'm sure I brought it up before, but why is it that like the people who are in the simulator always get like surprised? They state it like it's news to them. Like, whoa, I'm in the movie Moana. Like, did you not know that? I don't get it. Why do they do that? Other than to like surprise you, I guess. Like, oh, surprise, you get to play around in the Moana universe. Whatever. Also, I mean, it's the middle of the ocean with a single Polynesian boat. I guess that it's specific, sure, but considering the simulator can do anything, well, it can bring you anywhere. Maybe it can, take in prompts, like you can say, like maybe JD decided, oh yeah, middle of the ocean, single Polynesian boat instead of Moana. I mean, it can clearly influence the world. What with the whole revisiting Naruto universe, but with evil Sasuke. Whatever. Um, oops. Just seems like a weird conclusion to make so quickly. Anyways, Lily walked over to the boat, and she saw Moana hugging the spirit of grandmother. I tried grandma. I couldn't do it, says Moana. Moana, you can't give up. You've come this far, and you can't give up on your people, says Lily. Who are you? Asks Moana. And also, how did you get here? And how can you walk on water? And all very, very realistic things somebody might ask. But no. We just need the introductions, and we're basically sisters. My name is Lily Loud. I came to help you, says Lily. What a brave 10-year-old who's technically 15 years old or whatever. Lily got onto the boat. Lily, I tried my hardest, but it was too much for me, says Moana. I know, but you have a strong spirit and a strong will and love for everyone on your island. I know, says Lily. I know, but the question is, who am I? Asks Moana. Oh no, no. Oh no. Singing divinely. You are a girl that loves your island and a girl that loves the sea. How do I sing this? It calls me. I can do that one easy. It calls me. Sings Moana. Here, let me let me look up the. Yeah, I'll do a little reminder. Listen to the song. That way I can sing it for you. Don't say I don't do you any favors. Okay. Oh Jesus. So I found it. It was a little difficult because I didn't know the name of the song, but I found it. Well, it was more difficult than I thought it would be, but whatever. I found it, and I realized that it's gonna be a little weird because it's Lily stealing half of, actually no, most of Moana's lyrics, and oh God, okay. Let's do this. I'll try my best to sing divinely, but hey, no promises. I'm already doing more than I ought to. Okay? You get what you get. Whew. Here we go. You are a girl that loves your island, and a girl that loves the sea, sings Lily divinely. It calls me, sings Moana also. This is so awkward. You were the daughter of the village chief. You were descended from voyage. You were Oh God, I've already forgotten. You were descended from voyagers who found their way across. You were descended from voyagers who found their way across the world. Sings Lily. They call me. Sings Moana. Glowing blue Polynesian sailing canoes appeared, and they had the spirits of Moana's ancestors on them. You've delivered them to where you are. You have journeyed farther. You are everything you've learned and more, sings Lily. Still it calls me. And the call isn't out there. Oh God, I've forgotten. Wait. Still it calls me. And the call isn't out there. Oh no. Okay, I got it. Still it calls me. And the call isn't out there at all. It's inside me, sings Moana. It's like the tide, always falling and rising, sings Lily. I will carry you here in my heart. You remind me that I come what? Wait, you remind me that come. Oh, I will carry you here in my heart. Okay. Look, sorry, I'm not a professional. Okay, just a guy reading garbage who's way in over his head right now. I will carry you here in my heart. You remind me that come what may, sings Moana to her grandmother. You know the way, sings Lily. I am Moana, sings Moana. Moana dove into the water and swam down to the bottom and retrieved a glowing green stone. It was the heart of Te Fiti. The song ended. Thank God. Moana got back on the boat. Lily, thank you for reminding me, says Moana, who literally, excuse me, who just had her character moment stolen from her from the random kid with water powers who can do whatever she wants because she's so cool, she's so awesome. It's no trouble at all. Now we got a job to do, says Lily. Right, says Moana. Let's do it together, says Lily. Lily extended her hand and she and Moana shook hands. They both fixed Moana's boat and Lily made a horse of glowing water. Okay. Ready? Asks Lily. Let's go, says Moana, still treating everything normal. I guess magical water, like the ocean is magic and Te Fiti's heart is magic, so I guess and there's giant singing crabs under the sea, so whatever. I guess there isn't much. I could understand to an extent that Moana would just completely ignore the fact that Lily has water powers. I guess she herself has, to an extent, control over water? Whatever. They both went to the island where Te Fiti is said to be. When they got there, they saw black clouds with ash and soot blowing around. Is this it? Asks Lily. Yes, we have to go past the barrier islands. We do that, and we make it to Te Fiti. But Te Ka, the volcano demon, is going to prevent us from getting there. Te Ka can't follow us into the water, says Moana. Okay, says Lily. Excuse me. Excuse me. Crap. I was gonna say something. Right. I honestly, I honestly did not expect the. I was about to say spoiler warning, but I'm pretty sure this whole chapter is going to be a spoiler warning. In fact, it may already be a spoiler warning. Oh, come on. Most people have probably seen Moana by now. And if you haven't yet, then you probably don't care that much. But I genuinely liked the twist of Te Ka being Te Fiti. That was. I did not see that coming whatsoever. Of course, maybe I was younger and stupider and more stupid and more and very and super and very stupid. As they approached, ash clouds Ash clouds, lava, and red-hot smoke billowed up, and they saw a fiery monster. "Is that Te Kā?" asks Lily. "Yes," answers Moana. Lightning flashed in Te Kā's ash clouds and smoke, and she was going to make sure they don't get past her. Okay. Lily fired a blast of water, and it hit Te Kā in the chest and cooled her down, and cooled her down, and she screeched in pain. "That ought to cool you down," says Lily, who, assuming, knows, like, okay, no way I'm going to defend this. All right, Lily knows what happens in Moana. In fact, why is she asking all this obvious questions? She clearly understands what Moana is. She clearly knows the entire song that she just stole from Moana. So there's no chance Lily doesn't know what happens in Moana. So she shouldn't be asking, "Is that Te Kā?" Because she knows that's Te Kā. And she probably shouldn't be just, hurting I mean, in good conscience, I wouldn't be making snarky remarks, all like catchphrase works. I wouldn't be making spouting out catchphrases or one-liners after hurting Te Kā, because I would know that Te Kā is actually Te Fiti. All right, I'd hurt her if I had to, if I was gonna die, or if I needed to hurt Te Kā in order to get somewhere, I would do it. But I wouldn't be happy about it, or at the very least, in whatever mood allows for one-liners to be said. I swear, I take like a concept that could be said in just a few sentences, and I turn it into this whole rant that takes a full 10 minutes. Okay, back to it, 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 back to it. "That ought to cool you down," says Lily. Tahiti, oops. Okay, Taka, not Taka, it's Taka now. Taka reheated her chest and threw a ball of fire at them, and Lily threw the ball of water at it and cooled it down. It hit the rocks nearby. "Is that all you got, you overgrown sack of hot air?" taunts Lily. Taka got mad, and the lightning in her clouds intensified as she roared. "Lily, here she comes," says Moana. Taka fired a stream of fire, and Lily fired a blast of water, and the blasts collided, and the fire turned into steam, and the water hit Taka in the face, and she screeched in pain. Okay, they made it past the barrier islands, and Taka extended her arm out and was about to grab them when an eagle came and transformed into the legendary demigod Maui and slashed off Taka's arm, and he landed on the boat with us. "Maui, you came back," says Moana. Maui's chest tattoo friend smiled in proudness. Most of us would say pride, but whatever. "Maui, I presume," asks Lily, as if it's not the most obvious thing in the world, and she should also know that, yes, that is in fact Maui. "That's right, and you are?" asks Maui. "My name's Lily Loud," says Lily. "It's a pleasure," says Maui. "No, it's not. Maui wouldn't say that. He'd be all like, excuse me. He'd all be like, "I'm sure it's a pleasure," is something he'd say, like implying that it is her pleasure to meet him, because he's a very egotistical, narcissistic character, to an extent. He's not like bad narcissistic, at least not anymore, not since his little character arc. But your hook, one more hit, and Moana gets cut off. "Teiko has got to catch me first. Now get to the island, chosen one. Go save the world," says Moana. "Maui, thank you," says Moana. "We owe you one," says Lily. "You're welcome," says Maui. Maui then transformed into some kind of bug and flew up to Teika and turned into a whale and made a big splash. It hurt Teika, and Lily and Moana made it to the island and went up the mountain, and in the lagoon they saw a hole that looked like someone was resting. "Te Fiti, it's gone," says Moana. "What happened?" asks Lily. Lily and Moana saw Teika, and in her chest was a spiral pattern, and it matched the spiral on the heart of Te Fiti, and they instantly connected the dots. Both of them. Because, Lily's very, very smart. In fact, Lily should already know. So I guess if Lily didn't already know, she either has horrible memory or is just straight up stupid. Te Fiti and Te Kā, they're both one and the same. Te Ka is Te Fiti, says Lily. Yeah, now we know, says Moana. Maui got Te Ka extremely angry, and Moana held the heart up, and it emitted a bright glow and a loud hum. Lily and Moana walked to the ocean edge. Let her come to us, says Moana. The ocean and the lagoon split and allowed Moana and Lily to cross, and Te Ka rushed to them without feeling any water. Lily and Moana were walking on the sand of the ocean floor. Oh no, dude. Lily, stop singing! We have crossed the horizon to find you, sings Lily. Te Ka was getting closer. I'm not going to bother looking this one up. We're going off of feel, I guess. We know your name. We know your name, sings Moana. They have stolen the heart from inside you, sings Lily. But this does not define you, sings Moana. This is not who you are, sings Lily. Te Ka began to realize that she was made into someone she was not. Uh, you know who you are, sang Lily and Moana together. So beautiful. Te Ka leaned in closer, and Moana put her head in her head. I'm having a stroke. Put her head on her head, and the song ended. Who you truly are, says Moana. Te Ka closed her eyes, and Moana placed the heart in the spiral, and it glowed green and began cracking apart as leaves, flowers, and life grew on Te Ka, and after the rocks broke off, they saw Te Fiti fully restored. Te Fiti, says Lily and Moana. They were amazed. Te Fiti. Oh my God. Is it Te Fiti? Is it Te Fiti? Can I just say Te Fiti? Because I think I'm overpronouncing. Am I? Am I dying? What's happening? Te Fiti. I'm gonna say Te Fiti from now on because I probably should have been saying it the whole time. Te Fiti, the spirit of life was fully restored and bringing new life to the island. Te Fiti was forever indebted to Lily and Moana, and she forgave Maui for his recklessness and actions, and his hook was repaired. Maui left to go see the world. As Lily and Moana left them for Moana's island, Te Fiti went back to her rest. Lily and Moana arrived back at Moana's island, Montanui, and her mom and dad, Sina and Chief Tui, I think is how that's probably maybe supposed to be said, arrived onto the beach as they got on. Mom, Dad! Exclaims Moana. Moana! Exclaims Sina. Moana hugged her mom and dad. I may have gone a little ways past the reef, says Moana. It suits you, says Chief Tui. Oh, Mom, Dad, this is Lily Loud. She helped me on my journey, says Moana. It's a pleasure to meet you, says Lily. Lily, we can't thank you enough for helping Moana, says Sina. Lily was a big help, says Moana. You are so welcome, Sina, says Lily. The villagers came and were excited to see Moana back safe and sound. They cheered for both Lily and Moana. Lily, I couldn't have done all of this without your help. Actually, we have evidence that suggests you could have. But whatever. I thought I was going to have to turn back, but you helped me regain my courage and strength, says Moana. True courage and strength only comes from what's inside your heart. Never forget that, says Lily. I won't, says Moana. Moana surprised Lily by taking off her necklace and placing it around Lily's neck. Your necklace, but this is yours, says Lily. It's yours now, Lily. You helped me save the world, I couldn't have done it without you. You will always have a friend here on Motunui, says Moana. Lily was surprised and hugged Moana. Thank you, Moana, says Lily. A vortex opened up. I have to go home now, but I will never forget you, Moana, says Lily. Me neither, says Moana. Take care, Lily. You will always be welcome at our island, says Chief Tui. Thank you, Chief, says Lily. Lily waved and she entered the vortex and arrived back home. The simulator turned off. Lily, you were amazing, and I didn't know you could sing really well. Oh, thank you. Thank you. They think I sung well. Because I was. Anywho, I didn't know you could sing really well. I say. I didn't know either, says Varee. Why didn't Varee get this one, huh? Varee's a mermaid, dude. I guess Lily's got water powers, but it just I don't know. You could have had both of them in. It's not like you can't use multiple people. You can't have multiple people use the simulator at one time. We know that after that god awful Skylanders chapter. Anywho, back to all this. It's a hidden talent, I guess, says Lily, and this is like the 20th time a character has just casually tried something and found out they're super duper good at it. You were amazing, Lily, says Starfire. I'm so proud of you, little sis, says Lainey. Lainey and Lily hugged. Thanks, Lainey, says Lily. I agree with Lainey, says Krista. Cool. Thank you, all of you, says Lily. The end. Another fanfiction complete. I recently saw 2016's Moana with my friend, and it was awesome. I loved the epic battle with Te Kā. The singing in this movie was awesome. I wanted to start the chapter at the dark part of the movie where Moana nearly gives up on her journey. This was a good chapter, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. Well, if James thinks it's a good one, how can I possibly disagree? See you next time. Moana is owned by Disney Studios. Chapter 65 The Case of the Missing Riley. Riley. Okay. It starts in my room at the Nuts and Loud Estate. I'm looking at my computer, and in a California news website, I saw a strange story. Nope, we're going to start right there. Who in their right mind reads California news websites on their computer? Like, what? Like, if you said like, oh, I got a notification about this cool, not cool, maybe it's cool, about this important news story in California, because sometimes I get news about states I don't live in, but I don't actively read about them on websites. James, you are not normal for doing this. Normal people don't do this. So either you're a complete weirdo, or you love the news that much, or it's a lazy plot convenience. Like, oh yeah, this chapter can't happen without James Knutson just taking some strange and random interest in California news. Anywho, Riley Anderson runs away from. Is this Inside Out? I didn't want to say anything because I know Riley is the name of. Is Riley the name of the character from Inside Out? The girl? I don't know the last name, but Riley Anderson running away from home. Police baffled. Oh, yeah. Nope. Here it is. Okay. Hold on. Riley Anderson runs away from home. Police baffled. That's awful, I say. Riley Anderson moved to San Francisco, California from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and she is believed to be running away from life. That's a weird way to put it. Oh no, we got to go. We got to help her, I say. So yeah, it is the inside. It's an Inside Out chapter. How do you? How are they going to like? Because there's no way we don't get some amount of interaction with the emotions, right? So like, what's that gonna look like? I can't wait to find out. I rush over to Lincoln and Linka's room and explain everything. What? Why would she run away from home like this? Asks Lincoln, shocked. My guess, oh, here we go. My guess is she wants to go back to Minnesota and have her old life back. I say that could very well be the reason, but it's not right to run away, says Lincoln. That's awful. And you moved here from Colorado and you are fine with it. Well, I mean, yeah, good point. I mean, it's not like everybody has different experiences with moving, right? Some people like to, and some people don't like to. Linka, James. If I had a totally fine time moving to from Colorado, wait, sorry, yeah, if I had a fine time moving here from Colorado, why shouldn't everybody else have an equally easy time moving from anywhere to anywhere? Just so perfect. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I know. Come on, let's find her and help her out, I say. Yeah, let's do it, says Lincoln. Let's get the girls involved, says Linka. We gather the rest, oh my god, all of them? Here we go. We gather the rest of the Loud siblings, Marie, Eileen, Starfire, Jesse, Woody, who still, I don't think has done a single important thing. Ed, and Eddie, and explain everything. That poor girl, says Lori. That is awful, dude. Like, here, this is why I didn't want this to happen, because now everybody's got to have their little piece where they say, oh, that's bad. Oh, that sucks. Like, yes, we know. Okay? Like, why does he do it? Does he think that if we don't see a character say, oh my gosh, that's so awful, that makes me so sad, then we have to assume that that character doesn't think it's sad and thus thinks it's, like, fine or maybe even a good thing? like, have faith in your characters as well as characters. Have faith that we know that you've done a decent enough job describing who they are that you don't have to like reinforce all of these character um oh man, how am I forgetting this very obvious word? But you don't have to reinforce these character traits every single chapter. Like, oh yeah, yeah, all these characters, yeah, they're sad in this chapter, and then something else happens, something sad happens in another chapter, and oh, they're all sad about that. Oh, next chapter, oh, they're sad again because something sad happened. Like, I know, I'm pretty sure that if Lori is saddened by A happening, then when sad thing B happens, she's probably going to be sad about that too. Okay? But no, no. Hey, let's go through the entire cast of characters, 50 plus maybe, and have each of them say, oh, boo hoo, oh, that's bad. Anyways, that poor girl, says Lori. That is awful, dude, says Luna. I don't blame her. I'd be really sad and upset too if I moved away from home, says Lainey. Me too, says Lola. We got to help her, says Luann. But how? The USA is a big place. She could be anywhere, says Eddie. Siblings and Louds, I have the solution. Follow me, says Lisa. Lisa, okay, it wasn't that long, but even still, sometimes it happens. In fact, it's most of the times, it's like if we ever meet a new character, we have to have every single character introduce themselves. Like, he won't do that off screen, but he will have everybody learn their powers to an expert degree over, in between chapters. I said off screen, but I meant in between chapters. Lisa took us to her library, and we were in front of a super high-tech computer. Wow, this is a huge computer, I say. Yes, it's my Super Q4000 Quadroplex 500 petabyte supercomputer. With it, we can find Riley Anderson, says Lisa. I don't know how that makes sense. Wow, that is a fancy schmancy computer. Let's see it in action. Let's see it action, I say. Hold on. Sorry, I just had to check something. Um, all right. Let's type in her name and where she was from, and her personal information, says Lisa. How do you know her personal information? In seconds, it pulled up a map of Minnesota, and a photo of her appeared, and a red blinking dot appeared, and it showed that she was already at her old house in Minnesota. That was fast, and also not how it happened in the movie. She's over at her old house already, I say. Poor girl, says Marie. Hang on. It says she's on the move, says Lisa. She must have gone to a friend's house, I say. She's on the move again, says Lisa. They must have turned her down for a place to stay, I say. Why would they do that? I really don't think that's the case. In fact, I would let her in, and then I'd call her parents or the police or something, and be all like, oh, yeah, yeah, that kid that ran away from San Francisco, she's here. Whatever. She must have gone to a oops. She's got nowhere else to go, says Lori. Why is he making it so sad? She's miles away from home, says Lana. What are we going to do? Asks Lily. Only one thing we can do. We got to help her by bringing her here and take care of her until her parents come and grab her. Let's go. So you're going to go get her. You're going to drive over to Minnesota or fly or teleport. Who cares? And instead of bringing her back to San Francisco, you're going to bring her back here? How does that make sense? Michigan, right? This takes place in Michigan? Okay, there's nonstop Discord pings. 1 minute. We gotta help her by bringing her. Let's go! I teleport. I am. San Francisco is in California. Michigan is. Well, I know where Michigan is. It's by the Great Lakes. And uh, Minnesota. I honestly don't even know where Minnesota is. But like because of that, because I don't know where Minnesota is, you totally could have said, well, of course they'd bring it's faster to bring her back to Michigan, assuming I am correct that the Loud House takes place in Michigan. Um, you could say that, yes, you could say that. You know, you could say driving there and back to Michigan is faster than driving there and then to San Francisco and then back to Michigan. You could say that. And that's how you could totally justify why it would be faster and just like a, to an extent it would be why it would be a better reason for them to bring her back. My point is, regardless of how good of an idea bringing her back is, instead of taking her to San Francisco, it gets thrown out the window when you can just straight teleport to her location. And then I can only assume you're going to use your teleport again to bring her back, but you won't teleport her to San Francisco. That's too hard. Ooh, ooh. Because then you'd have to teleport for a third time to get back to Michigan yourself, and that's just too strenuous, right? I, I just who in their right mind would choose to take who? Yes, no, good point, Parker. Thank you. You're taking a lost kid, back to your house. Did they even say take until her parents come and get her? I assume you're going to at least contact her parents, all right? But like personally, if I find a lost kid, I do not take her back. Okay, I don't. If sure, I tell people, but I do not take her to my house and wait for them to come get her. I take her to the police station, or if I know where her parents lives, I take her to her parents. Why would you ever take a missing kid back to your house? There are very few reasons why that is the ideal choice over a police station or the child's parents' house. Where was I? I teleport us all to Riley's former home block. We arrive at Riley's old home block. Interesting place, I say. We see her. There she is, I say. Riley was crying hard. Mommy, Daddy, cried Riley. Riley, I say. Riley saw us. It's all right. We mean you no harm, I say. Just a huge group of people all arriving out of the blue to um take a missing kid back to their house. Nothing sinister about that. Riley, I know it's hard to move away and it can change you, says Marie. How would you know, says Riley. Because, like you, I had to move from Castle Rock, Colorado to Royal Woods, Michigan. I was right. It's a suburb in Detroit. I know it's tough, but I quickly adjusted to it. I know you miss everyone here, and it's tough to adjust in a place that you don't know, but things take time. That you don't know, but things take time. But these things take time. I say, that's right, Riley, says Lincoln. Yeah, just give it some time to adjust, says Linka. Wait a minute, I've seen you all before. You're JD Nutson and the Loud Kids, says Riley. That's right, I say. You guys are awesome. I heard you all defeat that evil black daffodil gang. I don't even I don't even remember what that's from. That's been Wait a minute, the black daffodil, is it like I brought up a character that like kind of got completely forgotten about, and it's this emo type character who like talked about how her parents are abusive and stuff like that, and so they save her, quote unquote, from her parents, and I think take her back to the Loud House. Where else would they take her? And then they just kind of forgot about her, and it might have been because she was part of like this gang of people. I think that might have been the Black Daffodils. I don't remember, but if this is the reintroduction of that character we completely just forgot about, I'm gonna be pissed. Evil Black Daffodil Gang. That's right, says Free. Let me see if I can't figure you out. You're Lori Loud, the eldest, says Riley to Lori. That's right, I'm 17 years old, says Lori. Cool. I heard you have awesome wind power, says Riley. That's right, says Lori. Show her, Lori, I say. Lori spread her wings and made mini tornadoes in her hands. That's so cool. Awesome. You're Lenny Loud. I saw your fashions in magazines, and they're awesome, says Riley to Lenny. Thank you. I'm totes glad, says Lenny. Hello, my name is Ed. Lenny is my girlfriend. That's so sweet, I guess, says Ed. That's right, Ed, says Lenny. Oh, that's so sweet, says Riley. You're Luna Loud, she says to Luna. That's right, dudette. It's rocking to meet you, says Luna. Same here. I love your music. You rock, says Riley, making the rock on hand sign. Oh, God. I'm glad I have a fan. I also have water powers from the sirens. Watch, says Luna. Luna spreads her wings of water, and she fired a ball of water at a tree, and it entombed it in a ball of water and sang to drum beats. It entombed it in a ball of water and sang to drum beats. I don't even. Whatever. The singing was so enchanting that it attracted criminal. What? It attracted criminals from all over like a magnet and pulverized them, and police cars arrived and arrested them and drove off. That's just some stupid like instant like smiling friends, right? How things just happen in an instant, the super fast movements. Like, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, the criminals are here, and then they get beaten up, and then the cops drive up, they take them, and they drive away, just like that. You know, nothing happens to initialize those events other than the initial one, I guess. But like, why did the police show up? Oh, because they had to. I don't know. It's harder to explain with words. It's not like I can do so with visuals. Um, and drove off. That was awesome, says Riley. Was it? I mean, it was pretty weird, all things considered. Just criminals. How does it target specifically criminals? You do know some criminals only ever steal because they're in a tight spot. Maybe they need to support for their family, but they can't catch a break. It's hard to justify that stuff, though. Let's not get political. Not until the inevitable chapter where I'm sure JD beats up a politician that he doesn't like. And I get the feeling it's going to be Donald Trump. Anywho, that was awesome. You must be Luann. You are the funniest person in the world. I love your jokes, says Riley to Luann, who has clearly never heard a good joke in her life. I'm glad you think so. This is one thing you can never run away from. Rimshot and laughs. Get it? What was that? What was that, man? What was that? What are we running away from? The fact that you're the funniest person in the world? I guess it's like 1/4 of a joke. Me, Veri, Eileen, Starfire, Ed, Eddie, Ed, Eddie, Jesse, Woody, Riley, and Lenny laugh while the other siblings sigh. Luann, you are hilarious. Laughs Riley. Thank you. I also have light powers. Watch, says Luann. Luann spread her yellow wings and formed a fairy, a mermaid, and an elf, and a dragon of pure light, and they spiraled around and went up into the air and exploded into a dazzling display of fireworks. Awesome, says Riley. Luann is my girlfriend, by the way. By the way, the name's Eddie. I like jawbreakers and jokes, says Eddie. It's a pleasure. Are you talking about the tiny jawbreakers? Asks Riley, who would never ask that question in the world, but I guess for some reason we needed some kind of setup for Eddie to be all like, no, actually, I like the super duper big ones. Because that's important. Let's all waste breath, all right? My cells are aging and dying as I speak, all right? Time is being lost, and I'm spending it in the worst way I think I could. No, that's not true. I could spend it lying down in a puddle of my own filth 24/7, 365 for the rest of my life, eating only what falls into my mouth. And that, I think, might just be a slightly worse way to spend my time, to spend my life, than reading The Loud House Revamped. those are huge. No way, those are pathetic. I'm talking about the jawbreakers that are as big as basketballs. Those are the best, says Eddie. Wow, those are huge and they must be really good. I do actually really want. I always wanted one of those giant jawbreakers from Ed, Ed and Eddie. Lucky bastards. You must be Lynn, says Riley to Lynn. That's right, I'm the sports star of the family, says Lynn. When it comes to sports for Lynn, Riley, there's no stopping her, I say. Well, you have a lot of talent in sports. I play ice hockey, says Riley. Cool, that's one of my favorites too, says Lynn. Of course it is. Everything's your favorite. Awesome, says Riley. Yeah, I also have earth powers. Watch! Lynn spread her wings, and an earthquake shook the area and formed a bunch of crystal clusters of many colors. Whoa, that was awesome, says Riley. It was, huh? I got my powers when I fought the Black Daffodil Gang, says Lynn. Okay, maybe I don't remember what the Black Daffodil Gang was. No, I do remember. I was totally right. Oh my god, it's Shannon. I was correct about Shannon. Sorry, I read ahead. We'll get there. When we fought the Black Daffodil Gang. Wicked cool. I don't think I've seen you before, says Riley to Shannon. I was adopted into the Loud family. My name is Shannon Gaz Loud, former member of the Black Daffodil Gang. I knew it! I knew it! Oh man, and we did see Shannon beforehand, and I think I even pointed it out and everything. Maybe I just subconsciously always knew Shannon was the former Black Daffodil Gang member. Shannon's parents were serial killers and they abused her terribly. She became a member of the Black Daffodil gang to get the Black Daffodil to get revenge on them, I say. Oh man, that's terrible, says Riley. Dude, I know way too damn much about this stupid fan fiction. Or worse, what's worse is I'm retaining it to an extent. I'm retaining it. You know, I know who Shannon was. Is. It's okay. It's all water. It's all water under the bridge. I've forgiven them, says Shannon. You've forgiven your serial killer parents who abuse you? Yeah, I guess that's a level of sympathy I genuinely wish I never achieve. Or empathy? Empathy. Whichever. I don't care. That's good. That's good. You must be Lucy, the dark goth of the family, says Riley to Lucy. That's right. I'm into vampires and everything dark, says Lucy. I heard you destroyed Henry Kane in Chicago. That's correct. He was an evil monster that needed to be destroyed forever. I have dark powers. Watch, says Lucy. Lucy spread her black wings, and her eyes turned into the demon eyes, and she found a man holding a knife. And she found a man holding a woman at knife point, and she fired a blast of black lightning at him and zapped him, and the woman got away, says Lucy. Let fear consume you for your crime, says Lucy. Oh, that's so tough. The man started saying everything at a horrific place everything as a horrific place, and a paddy wagon arrived, and two men wrapped him in a straitjacket and took him away to a mental institution. Wow, that was awesome. What did you do to that man? You just ruined his life, asks Riley. I completely destroyed his mind and sanity with fear and paranoia. I zapped him with my black lightning, and it consumed him with fear, distrust, and paranoia. And Lucy is one of the good guys. Whoa, that is powerful. I heard you can also kill spirits, says Riley. Only when they deserve it, says Lucy. Wow, that is cool. Wow, that is cool, says Riley. You must be Laney, says Riley to Laney. This might be, okay, sorry, but I'm hungry as all hell, and this is really making me angrier than it should be. So this might be a 2 chapter, simply because I am so hungry right now, it's crazy. In fact, I might not get to eat if I don't hurry up. So, let's hurry, hurry, hurry. Crap, where was I? Laney spread her wings and touched the ground, and it grew and. Oh, nope. I went way ahead. I'm so sorry. Only when they deserve it. That's right. I'm the bookworm, artist, and gardener of the family, says Laney. Neat. I like reading books and gardening too. I heard you have awesome plant power, says Riley. You heard right. Watch, says Laney. Laney spread her wings and touched the ground and grew a tree that actually grows money in the middle of the cul-de-sac. That's a bad idea. Laney, that's amazing. I've heard of that expression. Money grows on trees, and you made it literal, says Riley. So here's a new issue. A new one that just popped up in my mind. Missed opportunities. Okay? It it wouldn't have been funny. It wouldn't have been, okay? But why? Why wouldn't you have Luann say something something money grows on trees, something something rimshot laughs, you know? Now I've heard of money growing on trees, but this is ridiculous. I don't know, stuff like that. It's like the alternative, yes, is that no joke is made, because I would much prefer no joke made than some random character make the joke when Luann is right there. But I don't know. When you see a literal money tree, it just feels like you have to make some kind of obvious joke about it. It doesn't have to be good, but if you're gonna have the character who makes all the bad puns, use her. Use her. All too willing to make her make some awful joke that isn't even a joke at sometimes. But, okay, I'm getting off track. All the kids and people came out and grabbed a lot of money. That's not all. Watch, says Laney. She then grew a bunch of fruit trees and bushes. Wow, Laney, you have an amazing green thumb, says Riley. I guess you could say that about the character who literally has plant powers. That's what I get told by everyone. Oh, this is my friend Krista, says Laney. Laney had Krista on her left shoulder. Oh, wow, it's a pleasure, says Riley. Same here, says Krista. Also, why is that? I'm just now realizing, why is that the thing that Riley knows them from? Their defeat of the Black Daffodil Gang. They got an entire city shut down so that they could beat up three girls. Just three girls, the Canker sisters. And somehow that isn't a like that feels like something that would go around the entire country, isn't it? An entire city being evacuated so that a bunch of kids can fight a bunch of kids? Or a few kids, it's not a bunch. Don't get it twisted. It was very much a bloodbath. But it's whatever. You know? It's not like JD himself has been identified as the guy who won the lottery multiple times. It's not like they've done lots of things, you know. They but you know, the Black Daffodil Gang. That's everybody knows about that. Okay. Anyways. Oh wow, it's a pleasure, says Riley. Same here, says Krista. I can also do this, says Lainey. Lainey called a bunch of loons. What? Called a bunch of loons with her animal communication powers, and they flew in and did all sorts of aerial tricks. And Lainey flew up, and she and the loons did a message in the air. It said, Lori and Bobby forever. How long did Lainey have animal communication powers? Because it's like I always thought it was just plant powers. Maybe I forgot something. What do you think? Asks Lainey. That was awesome, says Riley. Lainey, that was so sweet, says Lori. Thanks, Lori, says Lainey. No, that's whatever. You must be Lana, the little handyman, says Riley to Lana. That's right, I do toilets, sinks, showers, and cars, says Lana. You're quite the mechanic, says Riley. When it comes to the house's internal and external plumbing, Lana can fix it all, I say. Yep, I have ice powers. Watch, says Lana. Lana spread her wings, and she had ice and snow swirling around her hands. She saw a policeman chasing after an armed robber, and she like, where are they? That there's always just some criminal in like in plain view, you know, eyesight, doing something that the lunatics here can use as an example of their power. Whatever, chasing an armed robber, and she fired a blue beam and froze him in ice. Whoa! Hey, thanks a lot, says the policeman, seeing Lana wave to him. You're welcome, says Lana. The policeman called for a truck, and the truck came, and they lifted the ice block into it and went off. Wow, that is awesome, says Riley. I know, it's a perfect way to freeze the competition. Good one, Lana. Ha 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 ha, laughs Luann. You didn't, like, that implies that that criminal was competition to you? Like, yeah, no. Only I get to steal things. Whatever. It's a bad joke. It always is. Ha 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 ha. That was funny, I said. Ha 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 ha. That was a good one, says Riley. You must be Lola, the beauty pageant queen, says Riley to Lola. That's right. I have won lots of beauty pageants and more. I also have fire powers. Watch, says Lola. Lola spread her wings and saw a burglar trying to break into a home in broad daylight. Oh, no, you don't. She fired a flame laser at his sneakers and set him on fire. Ah, fire, screams the burglar, who starts running around, and the family comes out and put him out and wrestles him to the ground. What a nice family. A police car shows up and arrests him. Wow, Lola, that was intense, says Riley. Yeah, you almost burned a man alive. You're so cool. I know, fire is a very dangerous force. It can destroy everything in its path, says Lola. I know, says Riley. My name is Penny. I was adopted, says Penny. Oh, wow, it's a pleasure, says Riley. I was saved by Lincoln and Linka, says Penny. I heard about that. You were kidnapped from New York to find the largest diamond in the world, says Riley. That's right, says Penny. Madame Medusa and Mr. Snoops were known as the Gulf Coast Bandits. They stole treasure from pirate caves all over the Gulf Coast from Florida to Texas. I say, that's big. That's big. You must be Lisa the scientist, says Riley to Lisa. That's correct. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, says Lisa. Same here. I heard a lot about your achievements in the scientific and medical world, says Lisa. That's correct. Being a genius is both a blessing and a curse, though I believe it neither. Then why did you say it, Lisa? Being a genius is both. You say it is. It is both. Like a matter of fact statement. It is both a blessing and a curse. But you believe it's neither. That's just stupid. I can believe that. And you must be Lily, says Riley to Lily. That's right. I'm 15 months old, but I look like a 10-year-old because of the glowing water of Coventina, says Lily. Wow, says Riley. That's all you gotta say? Watch, says Lily. Lily spread her wings and fired a blast of glowing blue water at a kid bullying a kid, and it got him all wet to the bone. The bully ran away screaming for his mommy. Yeah, you better run, antagonizes Lily. Whoa, though, that water was the same kind of light as churn churn Cherenkov radiation? It's the blue glow of an underwater nuclear reactor, says Lisa. Finishes Lisa for her. Cherenkov radiation. Thank you, Lisa, says Riley. I'm sorry. Does it simply look like that? Or did you just spray a bully with radioactive water? Does that seem like an appropriate punishment for bullying? One minute, oh hey, give me your lunch money. The next minute, oh my atoms are disassembling. My bones are falling apart. I'm growing an extra pair of legs, but they're coming out of my back, and my eyes are melting. All because I asked for that kid's money. I'm not. I'm like going off of kind of a cartoony uh, interpretation of radiation. Partly because I don't really know the effects of radiation on people. Well, tumors is the easy one, but also because we're in a cartoon style world. Whatever. You're welcome, says Lisa. Yeah, that's unusual, isn't it? Asks Lily. Yeah, but that's awesome, says Riley. You must be Lincoln, says Riley to Lincoln. That's right. I'm the only son in my family, says Lincoln. Oh wow, you may not have a big family. I may not have a big family like yours, but you guys are totally gifted, says Riley. Thanks, Riley. I have lightning powers. Me too, says Linka. I'm Linka Loud, by the way, Lincoln's twin sister from an alternate dimension. That is too complicated for me? Okay, says Riley. It was complicated for me too, says Linka. But watch this, says Lincoln. Lincoln and Linka spread their wings, and they see a man and woman driving a car and shooting at police as they drove by, and fired lightning from their hands at the car and melted it and their guns. The police arrested the couple. If you melt a car, like you better hope it's open top, because if you melted an entire car, those people inside, they're dead. I doubt they have much care for criminals. Oh, you did a bad thing? You deserve death. So now let's get the entire gang to use their super move on you. Whatever. Lincoln, that showed them, says Lincoln. Well, that was electrifying, says Riley. I know, says Lincoln. My name is Vere Knutson. I'm JD's fiancé, says Vere. Wow, it's a pleasure to meet you. Congratulations, by the way, says Riley. Thank you. The wedding is not for 10 years, says Vere. It's a pleasure to meet you, Riley. My name is Starfire, says Starfire. The Starfire? You're one of my favorite superheroes. I am honored that I have a fan, says Starfire. You are an awesome superheroine. Why wouldn't you just say superhero? Whatever. Says Riley. My name is Eileen Carter. I moved to Royal Woods from West Virginia. Says Eileen. It's a pleasure, says Riley. I'm the dinosaur adventurer and archer, says Eileen. That's cool, says Riley. My name is Jesse Bannon. I keep saying Bannon, but Bannon makes more sense. I'm an adventurer and future scientist, says Jesse. Cool, says Riley. I'm Woody Woodpecker, says Woody. Woody Woodpecker? Awesome. I watch your show all the time. It's awesome. Like, seriously, Riley is basically just JD. All right? Why is Riley here? Why do we need Riley? Why do we need JD? Whatever. It's nice to know I have lots of fans. Okay. It's nice to know I have lots of fans, says Woody. It's really nice to meet you all, but I don't think I'm ready to go back to San Francisco, says Riley. Well, you can. Ah, well, there go all of my complaints. You see, they're going to bring her back because she doesn't want to go to San Francisco. She's not ready. So she should stay with JD and all the loud kids, and then eventually something will happen, and her parents will be all like, "Oh yeah, we want you to stay there," and then boom, she's a permanent member. Okay, back to eating. It's really nice to meet you, but I don't think I'm ready to go back to San Francisco. Well, you can come stay with us until you're ready to go, or you can wait until your parents come and get you, I say. Thank you, JD, says Riley. 5 different color lights shine out of Riley, and out came the embodiments of her emotions: joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear. I got a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, and a lot of disgust going on right now. A little bit of fear. A little bit of fear. Riley saw them. What? Who are all of you? Asks Riley. We are your emotions. I am your joy, says Joy. I am your disgust. And is that a money tree? You, says Disgust, who I suppose finds the thought of a money tree disgusting for some reason. Look, if you're gonna have her do her thing, maybe say like, "Ugh, those trees look like big broccoli," because I know Riley doesn't like broccoli, even though broccoli is one of the better vegetables. I'm your anger. Hey, shut up over there, says Anger. I'm your sadness. I'm sorry, says Sadness. And I'm your fear. Ah, what's that? Asks Fear. This is amazing. These are the physical embodiments of her emotions, I say. Indeed, says Lisa. But how are you guys out here and not inside me? Asks Riley. You're emotionally dead, Riley, that's why. We don't have any idea ourselves, but running away is not a good idea. It's ruined your parents, says Joy. I know, but I can't go back to San Francisco. It's so hard for me, says Riley. It's sad, cries Sadness. Come on, let's all go back to our house, I say. We all beamed back to the Nuts and Loud estate, and Riley was amazed at where we live. Riley was given a tour. She was allowed to stay in one of the guest bedrooms for a while or until her parents came. I got on the phone and called Riley's parents, San Francisco, California, at the Andersons' house. Riley's mom and dad were very nervous. The phone rang, and Mr. Anderson picked up. Hello? Asks Mr. Anderson. Hello, is this Mr. Anderson? I ask on the phone. This is he says. Mr. Anderson says. Good day to you. My name is JD Knutson, and I have good news. We found your daughter, Riley. She was all the way up in Minnesota. I say. Mr. Anderson let out a sigh of relief, knowing Riley was safe. That's wonderful news. Wait, did you say you're JD Knutson, as in JD Knutson and the Loud siblings that defeated the Black Daffodil Gang? Asks Mr. Knutson. That's right, I say. Okay. Uh, It's an honor to talk to you. I'm so glad that Riley is safe. She must be with you in Royal Woods, Michigan. Assumes Mr. Anderson, strangely accurate. Maybe he just, I don't know. That's right. Would you like to talk to her? I ask. Please, says Mr. Anderson. Riley, I call over. Riley picked up the phone. Hello, Dad, says Riley on the phone. Thank goodness you're safe, sweetheart, says Mr. Anderson. I'm so sorry I ran away, Dad. I hate San Francisco and I hate my old life back in and I want my old life back in Minnesota. I went back to Minnesota to get it back, but it was all for nothing. My old friends don't want anything to do with me anymore, which is just so weird. I don't know why they'd ever do that. I don't want to go back to San Francisco. I want my old life back, cries Riley. Honey, I know it's a big adjustment, and I'm sorry. I never should have pushed you into liking it. We love you, honey, and I tell you what, we'll pack up and move to Michigan with you. Is that even like that's not even the point? You've just moved from one place to another. You still don't have your old life, but oh, now you live with JD and all the cool characters, and oh, and it's so fun, and everyone, and you get superpowers now, and that's just the stupidest. Whatever. Really? Asks Riley. Of course, we love you, honey, says Mr. Anderson. Thank you, Dad, says Riley. You're welcome, honey. Put JD back. Put JD back on. I like talking to him more. He's cooler, says Mr. Anderson. Okay, says Riley. I'm so sorry Riley ran away, Mr. Anderson, I say on the phone. Call me Bill. We're going to move to Royal Woods and be with Riley. I can tell she likes you guys, says Mr. Anderson. That's wonderful, Bill. Nobody says Bill. Nobody, like, how often do you call, whatever, I'm close to the end. I'm not gonna, it's gonna have to be really outlandish for me to start ranting now. We like Riley too. She's a huge fan of our, well, no wonder you like her. She's she stands you guys. She's a huge fan of ours, and I can tell she has a strong spirit. If I may make a suggestion, how about moving into one of our guest houses? We would love to add another family to our estate. I say, that's wonderful. It will take some doing, but we'll be right over in a week, says Bill. I'll talk it over with my mom and dad, and we'll see. Actually, here's my dad. Here, Dad, I say. Hello, says Sumner on the phone. Completely forgot his name was Sumner. Are you JD's dad? Asks Bill. What do you think? Yes, I'm Sumner Knutson, says Sumner. It's a pleasure to talk to you. I'm Bill Anderson, Riley's dad. JD and the Loud siblings found our daughter in Minnesota, and she is with you guys, says Bill. That's right, says Sumner. JD suggested that we move into one of the guest houses to be with Riley. Is that all right with you? Asks Bill. That's fine with me. I can tell Riley is happier here than in San Francisco, says Sumner. Oh, great. We'll be right over in a week, says Bill. See you then. Bye, says Sumner. 1 week later. Just like that. Hold on, I'm checking something there. Bill and Jill Anderson, Riley's mom and dad, were reunited with Riley, and Dad showed them around the first guest house, and they loved it. They moved in immediately, and Riley felt right at home. Riley now goes to Royal Woods Elementary School in the 6th grade. Joy, disgust, sadness, anger, and fear. Like, you realize, right? Hold on. Maybe, let me just have the ability to change into jewelry, and they chose to be a bracelet? Riley made, what? Riley met Raven, Terra, Argent, Cole, Bumblebee, Volcano, Robin, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Jerry, the Jedi, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Fu, Rin, Hanada, Ino, Tenten, and our friends Clyde, Rusty, Liam, and Zach. Riley was fast adjusting to her new home in Royal Woods. It was great for her. The end. Another fanfiction complete. So, I was going to say, without her emotions, Riley is going to be an emotionally dead person. In fact, maybe even a psychopath. I don't know. But I can only assume that their ability to transform into jewelry means that they're going to be worn by Riley 24/7. Like, it's weird. All right, you never should have done this. All right, we were this close to making it through the entire chapter without meeting the emotions, and frankly, it's probably for the best. Because if I knew I had little people dictating my emotions, I wouldn't want to meet them. Well, I guess I wouldn't want to know about them to begin with, right? I just feel like a puppet. and to have living things in my head, that's freaky too. So, assuming that they are still going to be dictating her emotions by having her wear the bracelets that they turn into for some reason, that's just weird, man. It's just weird. And why bracelets? Why not just have it be like, oh yeah, they have the ability to enter and exit Riley whenever they want? That sounds really weird, but you know what I mean. To enter her mind there. I mean, I guess the bracelets make it less weird. Like what do they walk up to her and like, I don't know, fly into her brain? It's just weird. It's just weird. Can she like choose to take off the bracelets if she doesn't want to feel angry or disgust or oh man, I don't want to feel happy today. Takes off the joy bracelet. Boom, done. I don't know. It's just really weird because you realistically, she can't act that much without hell. Oh, whatever. Hell, she shouldn't have been crying when they met her because she doesn't have sadness, does she? Well, she does, but sadness at that point in the story, they couldn't use the panel, the control panel. Well, I guess maybe they could have at that point of the story. I don't know, right? Because it's a the way it all happens is a lot different, because joy and sadness aren't there until the last part. But whatever. It's like I'm trying to understand a psychopath's mentality or logic. Whatever. Another fanfiction completed. I got the idea for this chapter from 2015's Inside Out. This was an interesting movie. Psychologists called this movie a textbook example of what a person is thinking. I didn't see this movie, but I heard it was a great movie. I saw the ending at Walmart and it was sad. No spoilers to those who have not seen it. I mean, kind of spoilers. Whatever. This was truly a fascinating one for me. I was having a nasty case of writer's block until I got the idea for this chapter. Let me know what you all think. God, what if he couldn't in an ideal world he would have gotten writer's block like 50 chapters ago. Hard to imagine he gets writer's block with all of this. Volcanic Trip, 44 parts. I cannot wait to read that. Okay. Let me know what you all think. See you next time. Inside Out belongs to Disney and Pixar Studios. Okay. I kind of wanted this one to be 3 chapters, but these 2 chapters absolutely sucked. And also, I think like the last 2 videos are almost 2 hours long, both of them. So frankly, I personally will welcome a shorter video this time around. Besides, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. I know I didn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you for the next reading. Yippee.